Welcome to Arca's Neet Biology, and today let us go into the discussion of previous year questions which are asked from Neet as well as Aims and Aipmt from the years 2020 to 2006. And now coming to the latest questions which are asked in Neet 2020 is: in which of the following techniques the embryos are transferred to assist those females who cannot conceive? The problem is with the fertilization. If there is a problem with the fertilization, then what techniques are being used means it is in vitro fertilization, that is IVF. If suppose there is any problem with the ova, then there is a use of gamete intrafallopian tube transfer. But here the exact problem is with the conceiving, that is with the fertilization. If there is problem with the fertilization, then the couples are advised to go for IVF. Now, what are the two methods of IVF means? It is zygote intrafallopian tube transfer, or it may be intrauterine transfer, that is ZIFT and intrauterine transfer. So in zygote intrafallopian tube transfer, the blastocyst at 8 cell stage is usually introduced into the fallopian tube. Whereas in intrauterine transfer, the blastocyst at 32 cell stage is usually transferred into the uterus, where it undergo implantation. Okay, so what is the exact answer here means it is ZIFT and as well as IUT. And coming to the next question, that is, which of the following hormone levels will cause release of ovum, that is ovulation, from the Graafian follicle? Now remember the events from the graph. In the graph we said that at the time of ovulation, the LH hormones are being increased as well as the FH hormones are also increased. Apart from this, there will be increase in the estrogen levels. So if you think this as the ovulation period, at this ovulation period, which hormones are being increased means high concentration of LH, okay, high concentration of SH, FSH, okay, as well as high concentration of estrogen hormones. So now out of them, which is being correctly explained here is there is no high concentration of progesterone. Okay, actually there is a high concentration of luteinizing hormone. Here also they gave low concentration of FSH. So high concentration of estrogen is the correct one. And now coming to the neat question, that is which is being asked in 2018. That is the 62nd question. Hormones are secreted by placenta to maintain pregnancy is. Okay, here HCG, HPL is being produced. Progesterone is also produced, but prolactin is not produced. Here in the same way, HCG, HPL, estrogen, relaxin is produced, but not the oxytocin. Oxytocin is produced by the hypothalamus. So this one is the wrong one. And here coming to the third one, HCG, HPL, progesterones and estrogen. All these are being secreted by the placenta. So this is the correct one. Now you go into the fourth one, that is a HCG, progesterone, estrogen, glucocorticoids. Glucocorticoids are not produced by this. They are being stimulated by the adrenal glands. Okay, so that is the difference. And now the other coming to the other question, that is 63rd question. The difference between spermiogenesis and spermiation is. Okay, spermiogenesis is the formation of spermatozoa. Spermiogenesis is formation of spermatozoa. Whereas spermiation is the heads of the sperms are being embedded into the Serotonin cells which are present in the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so here this spermiogenesis is the formation of the sperms. You check that. Spermiogenesis is the spermatozoa formation, and while spermiation is the spermatozoa are released from the Serotonin cells into the cavity of the seminiferous tubules. Okay, so that is the exact definition of them. And now, coming to the 64th question. The amnion of mammalian embryo they are derived from the ectoderm as well as the mesoderm. This is the direct question. Amnion is being derived from the ectoderm as well as the mesodermal layers. Now, coming to the next question. Nutrition to developing sperms is being produced by, the Serotonin cells, or they are also called as the nurse cells. And now the next one is main hormone after ovulation is, it is progesterone, estrogen, LH and estradiol. After ovulation, which hormone is being released in the luteal phase means it is the progesterone. Where at the time of ovulation, estrogen, FSH and LH are being released. Okay, after ovulation in the luteal phase, only progesterone is produced. And now 67 question, after ovulation, what happens? So here only estrogen increases, only progesterone increases, both estrogen and progesterone increases. Progesterone increases but estrogen decreases. So here what is the right answer means both after ovulation, if you see the graph. Okay, if at the time of ovulation on the 14th day, if you see there is LH surge, okay, there is also FSH hormone increase as well as the estrogen is being increased. After this, in the luteal phase, the progesterone hormone is being increased. Okay, so here this is the estrogen. Okay, now here if you see take the progesterone, at this place the progesterone will be increasing. Okay, so there will be increase of progesterone after ovulation. The progesterone is increased as well as the estrogen levels are also increased. So both estrogen and progesterone levels are increased. And now coming to the 68th question. Meiosis 2 is completed in the human female only after fertilization. Okay, because the cell cycle is being arrested in the metaphase 2. When the sperm head touches the membrane, then this ova initiate a complete meiosis 2 by promoting anaphase promoting factors. Okay, they produces the secondary oocyte, complete secondary oocyte and the second polar body. So this happens only after the fertilization on entry of the sperm. Pregnancy test is done by the presence of, how we can confirm this means by increased levels of HCG. Next, which of the following hypothalamic hormones stimulate the release of female reproductive hormones? It is the hypothalamic hormone is gonadotropin releasing hormones, which stimulate all other hormones in order to induce the further development. Okay, and next is a 2017 Aims question. Okay, here the diagram is being given and you have to find out which of the following is the correct one. The labeled ones are the correct ones. Now, if you see here, A is corpus luteum. After ovulation, whatever is present in the Graafian follicle, it is called as corpus luteum. Okay, this corpus luteum will be producing progesterone, but what here they have given is, they have given it as estrogen. Okay, so this is the wrong one. So the corpus luteum secrete progesterone. So this is the correct one. Okay, so this is the correct one. B is Graafian follicle. This is not the Graafian follicle. This is the corpus albicans. Okay. C is primary follicle. Okay. This is the primary follicle, but this is not the, and the antrum cavity is being developed. Then it is, if here it is the antrum cavity developed, it is the tertiary follicle, and this is the mature follicle, that is the Graafian follicle. From this Graafian follicle only, the ova is being released out. Mature follicle. So the correct one is the second one. Now coming to the next question, 57. Capacitation occurs in the female reproductive tract. Okay, in the epididymis, the maturation of the sperms occur. The cyclic events which occurs in the sperm head are called as capacitation, and this happens in the female reproductive tract. A temporary endocrine in the human body is, who is behaving as a temporary endocrine gland means it is the corpus luteum because it is producing the hormone progesterone. Okay, and next is gonadotropin releasing hormone, a hypothalamic hormone needed in the reproduction, acts on. This acts upon the anterior pituitary gland and thereby it stimulates the LH and FSH. We have already discussed gonadotropin releasing hormone is the one which is being stimulated by, which is being produced by the hypothalamus, and this acts upon the pituitary gland to produce the two types of hormones. They are luteinizing hormone as well as a follicle stimulating hormone. Okay, so here the first option is the correct one. Now, going into the next question, which of the following correctly depicts the correct pathway of transportation of the sperms? Here, the sperms are being transferred from the retitestis, that is from the seminiferous tubule. They are received by the retitestis, retitestis to vasa efferentia, vasa efferentia to epididymis, epididymis to vasa deferens. So you check here. Okay, it is the third one. Retitestis to efferent vasa efferentia, and from vasa efferentia to epididymis, epididymis to vasa deferens. Now, the next question, 53rd. You have to match the following correctly. Here, the first one is which of the, correctly we have to label. Okay, now, mons pubis is the female external genitalia. Antrum is the one which is being formed in the Graafian follicle or in the mature follicle. Okay, and after that, trophoectoderm is being formed in the this feet embryo formation. Nibercon is the part of the sperm. Okay, so this correctly labeled one is the fourth option. And several hormones like HCG, HPL, estrogen, progesterone are being produced by the placenta. This is direct question from the NCERT. And next, primary spermatocytes are, these are giving rise to haploid secondary spermatocytes. The primary spermatocytes are diploid and where they undergo meiosis 1, which is also called as reduction division, to produce the secondary spermatocytes. And these secondary spermatocytes are haploid in nature. Which of the following is correct in the above statements? Okay, estrogen increases ovulation. Yes, this is true. Graafian follicles mature in luteal phase. No, this maturation occurs even in the follicular stage, that is before ovulation itself. Maximum level of progesterone is between 11th day to 13th day. Though this is the ovulation period we can say, but not the luteal phase. Progesterone levels are being increased only during the luteal phase. At 21 days, there is a high increase of progesterone. Estrogen maintain pregnancy. No, progesterone maintains pregnancy. So that option is wrong. Coming to 48 question. Fertilization in humans is practically feasible only if the sperm is fertilizing the ova in the fallopian tube. That is the site of fallopian tube is ampulla isthmus junction. So here the correctly labeled one is the second one. The ova and sperms are transported simultaneously to the ampulla isthmus junction of the fallopian tube. Now 49. Select the incorrect statement. Incorrect one among the following. FSH stimulate the serotonin cells which help in the spermatogenesis. This is the correct one. LH triggers ovulation in the ovary. This is also correct. LH and FSH decrease gradually during the follicular phase. Okay, during the follicular phase, they are being raised and they are only responsible for construction of follicles. So this one is the wrong one. LH triggers the secretion of androgens from the Leydig cells. This is also true. Now out of all, which of the one is the wrong one means it is the third one. 46 question. To maintain menstrual cycles, hormones are secreted by. They are secreted by the pituitary gland as well as the ovary. Because the pituitary hormones are LH and FSH, ovary releasing hormones are estrogen and progesterone. Okay, so here the first one is the correct one. Now coming to the 47 question, by looking at the diagram, we have to identify the correctly labeled one. Okay, now here this is the A, B and C. Okay, this is the blastocyst who is undergoing implantation. Okay, and blastocyst stage, not in the morula stage, so this one is the wrong one. Okay, and A, second meiosis complete and formation of haploid zygote. No, meiosis 2 is not complete there. Okay, whose cell cycle is being arrested in the metaphase 2. Okay, and here this the correct option is the second one. The cell cycle is being arrested in the metaphase 2. Okay, B is first mitotic division starts. No, there is no starting of mitotic divisions. So the next question is, out of all the things we have to select the correct one. So high level of FSH and LH stimulates the thickening of endometrium. They are responsible for development of follicles, the formation of follicle, resynthesis of lost follicles as well as the endometrium. That is not correct. High levels of FSH and LH facilitate implantation of the embryo. Who is promoting the implantation means it is the progesterone, which helps in attachment. Okay, maintaining pregnancy. So that is also wrong. High level of HCG stimulates the synthesis of estrogen and progesterone. This is true. High level of HCG stimulates the thickening of endometrium. No, it is false. So the correct one is the third one. And next, LH and FSH level during the human menstrual cycle increase on at the time of ovulation. Ovulation day is the 14th day. So it usually increases on the 14th day. Next question is 36. Okay, hormone responsible for secretion of milk after parturition is, it is the prolactin hormone. Direct question. Capacitation refers to changes in the sperm head. Okay, before fertilization, in order to fertilize the ova, is called as capacitation. Hysterectomy is the surgical removal of a uterus. Which of the following cells during gametogenesis is normally diploid? Okay, this is very important question and mostly asked question. And who is diploid means here the spermatogonia is diploid. Okay, whereas the primary spermatocyte is diploid and the secondary spermatocyte onwards to the final all are haploid. Next, by looking at the table, we have to correctly label them. Now here, if you see, corpus luteum produces testosterone, stimulates spermatogenesis. It produces progesterone. This is wrong. Anterior pituitary produces oxytocin. This is also wrong. Posterior pituitary. Posterior pituitary produces growth hormone. No, anterior pituitary releases growth hormone. Thyroid gland produces thyroxine. Lack of iodine in diet results in goiter. So this one is the correct one. Now coming to the 30th question. Okay, here which one of the following is not the function of placenta? It secretes oxytocin during parturition. No, it is not secreting oxytocin. Okay, this is the not the function of placenta because oxytocin is produced by hypothalamus. Okay, rest of all are the functions of the placenta. It supply oxygen, secretes estrogen. Okay, it helps in removal of carbon dioxide and waste material. All are true, but not this. Okay, and 31 question. Menstrual flow occurs due to the lack of which hormone? Okay, it occurs due to the lack of which hormone? Okay, it occurs due to the lack of progesterone. Progesterone is responsible for pregnancy. So if there is no progesterone means will be menstrual cycle. And next 32. A correct sequence of male accessory glands according to quantity of secretion in the descending order. So here the first major amount is produced by the seminal vesicles. After that it is the prostate secretions, and later is bulbourethral glands. So option is 2. 33. The main function of mammalian corpus luteum is to produce the hormone progesterone. Now, you have to identify the correct sequence here. The spermatogenic equations stages in the formation of sperms. Firstly, it is the spermatogonial cells which are being developed into primary spermatocyte into secondary spermatocyte into spermatid and sperms. So the correct one is the spermatogonia, spermatocyte, spermatid and the sperms. A change in the amount of yolk and its distribution in the egg will always affect the pattern of cleavage, but it don't interfere with the fertilization or formation of zygote and the number of blastomeres produced. Next, which one of the following statements about human sperm is correct? This sperm head consists of a cap-like structure called as a acrosome, and it produces hydrolytic enzyme called as a hyaluronidase, which helps in dissolving the egg envelope and thereby facilitates the fertilization. So here it produces the lysine, that is hydrolytic enzyme called as hyaluronidase. The part of fallopian tube closest to the ovary is the fimbriae, the finger-like structure, and the funnel-shaped structure infundibulum. So after infundibulum, it is the ampulla. After ampulla is the isthmus, and later we have the cervix. So here the nearest part to the ovum is the infundibulum. The signals for parturition originate from placenta, and they induce fetal ejection reflex to the hypothalamus when the fetus is completely developed. The second maturation division of the mammalian ovum occurs. Okay, and this occurs when it is being penetrated by the sperm. The complete maturation and division will be completed because its cell cycle is arrested in the metaphase 2. Okay, so this is the correct one. And coming to the next, in humans, at the end of first meiotic division, the male germ cells differentiate into the secondary spermatocytes. After first meiotic division, meiosis 1, the primary spermatocyte is divided into secondary spermatocyte. Now, the seminal plasma in humans is rich in fructose, calcium as well as certain enzymes. This is also direct question. And in the 10th question, the diagram is given and you have to label the correct ones. So here this A is the vasa deferens. Okay, and B is seminal vesicle. C is prostate gland and D is bulbourethral gland. So the 10th one is the third. And 11th. Now, which of the following statements are the correct matching? Menstruation, breakdown of myometrium. It is breakdown of endometrium, not myometrium. Ovulation, LH and FSH attain peak level and sharp fall in the secretion of progesterone. No, this is wrong. Proliferative phase, rapid regeneration of myometrium and maturation of Graafian follicle. It is the development of endometrium, not myometrium. Development of corpus luteum, secretory phase and increased secretion of progesterone. Yes, this is true. Rest of all the above statements are wrong. And now coming to the Serotonin cells. The Serotonin cells are regulated by the pituitary hormone known as FSH. FSH is taking the control of Serotonin cells and they are helpful in spermatogenesis. Withdrawal of which of the following hormones is the immediate cause of menstruation? So here it is the progesterone. If there is no progesterone means there will be menstrual cycle. In human female, menstruation can be deferred by the administration of combination of estrogen and progesterone. These are the best widely used contraceptives. Which part of the ovary in mammals acts as an endocrine gland after ovulation? Okay, here it is, that is the Graphian follicle which is being left over in the ovary, and this is called as a corpus luteum. Okay, so that leftover one is responsible for producing the acts as a endocrine gland. And now, which one of the following statement is incorrect about menstruation? Okay, so here the menstruation in female is there is especially abrupt increase in the gonadotropic hormones too. The beginning of cycle of menstruation is called as menarche. During normal menstruation, about 40 ml of blood is lost too. The menstrual fluid can easily clot. This is the wrong one. There are no clotting factors. These are the dead tissue of endometrium which is being shredded off in the form of menstrual cycle. And which extra embryonic membrane in humans prevent desiccation of embryo inside the uterus? It is the amnion, which consists of amniotic fluid. Okay, and that is the amnion. And after that is the seventh question. In adult females, oxytocin causes a strong uterine contraction during parturition. Okay, so these are the questions which are being asked in the previous examinations. If you like the video, share, subscribe.